very familiar with that environment, and you've seen it changed over your playing career, your coaching career. Where are we going?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
we have a 5 year plan
So
in 2026?
we're talking the men's game or the women's game?
Let's talk about the men's game a little bit.
Okay. So the men's game, I think we went through that period where a domestic, the absence of a domestic league hurt us. This is my personal opinion, because I look back to CSL when we played in '93 against Mexico at home, when US was hosting the World Cup, and there was only one team going from CONCACAF, and Canada is on top of the division, right? We are first in the group, and all we needed was a tie against Mexico. And who was on the field? Every player, with the exception of probably Craig Forrest and Randy Samuel, every other player was a product of CSL. Even Alex Bunbury and Pesh, who were playing in Europe, they started here. And then Hamilton, Toronto Blizzard, et cetera, et cetera. And then they moved on to Europe because they were doing well. You know, Waddy, Kevin Holness, Ian Carter, Pierce Antopoulos, God bless his soul, Dominic Mobilio, Doley, everybody was, Dale Mitchell, everybody was a product of a Canadian league, a competitive league. And as a result, we were there right at the cusp in 85th minute, we're going to the World Cup. And then Hugo Sanchez scores a goal in the 88th minute and killed us. But look where we were. And then from there on, the league folded that year, and then that was it. And it became difficult for whoever was at helm in that environment. Now, John has come in the right time, and I think he's doing a good job because he's organized. He has a plan, right? And there's some former Canadian players around him now. From what I understand, and there's hope for and that some of our Canadian kids have done well. Look at these two in the picture here. They've done fantastic with where they are. But I think the presence of a domestic league is going to help us in producing players, and the fact that now some of these kids are doing well in Europe, because you go back, people don't remember, but you go back in time. We had Randy playing, in Holland for Feyenoord. You had Craig Forrest playing for Ipswich in Premiership, at the time, First Division in England, and and you had Alex playing in Portugal, Portuguese league in the First Division. So now we have that again. The kids are playing in First Division, and then we also have a backup of a domestic league that's going to produce, hopefully, better players. So I think we're going the right direction. I honestly have to say, I think we're going in the right direction. At the youth level, coaching education has gone better. So hopefully that contributes to the players that we're producing that are coming through the system as well, right? On the women's side, that's all I have to say. On the women's side, we are not, we are not underdogs. On the men's side, we've been. For example, when Paul James took the national team to the World Cup, we were underdogs. Paul was saying a story to me at the time. He was saying that he looked at the bench one time at a qualifying game, right? And he remembers this vividly. Whether it was a qualifying game or exhibition game. And he goes, people were sitting on the bench and everybody was wearing a different tracksuit. The resources were not there. And on the women's side, we're strong. We've always been traditionally one of the top teams, and we still are. And again, we went through a period where maybe the leadership wasn't the best, and then John came in. I think he did a great job. Came at the right moment, right? So, and I think he put us on a good path. But I think we're falling behind. When I look at the development of the game on the women's side in Europe and other countries, everybody's caught on with us now and is passing us. And I think we have plateaued a little bit in what we're doing. People are not going to like what I'm going to say here. I think some of the choices we make in leaderships are not the right choices. No disrespect to them. We are Canada, right? When I look at, some of the choices, right? in leadership. We deserve the, the Jurgen Klopps and the, Marcelos and Pep Guardiolas and of this world, a women's version of those coaches, right? In our programs, right? So, and then we're also losing some Canadian talent. Rianne just left us, and I think she was excellent role model, and she did well. And she still needs some growth, but that could have happened in this environment if we did the right things for her. If we brought the right people around her to help her grow, like what I had in Bijan and guys that were around me, in my small world, and even at the world, I could tell you at the World University Games, coaching there, the group I had all contributed. Jose, Ramin was with me one year, Coach Raz was with me one year, and Coach Cindy Tai, who was a former player, and I've grown to absolutely adore her and what she, brings to the game, who's now works with our U15 national program. And, in every level, people that came in around us, staff, everybody contributed, Ankar, everybody contributed to that group. So we learned from each other. So if you could provide that environment for a kid like Rianne, who has done so much for Canada, then maybe, maybe things are a little bit seen differently, right? So, we need to reevaluate where we are. Resources, from Canada putting, sort of enough resources into the women's game and making sure that we have those learning opportunities for the coaching staff and the people who are there. And even in our regional centers, right? In our Rex programs, et cetera, we need more resources, right, in those environments to help the growth. And one thing that I think has hurt us, personal opinion again, is that I think at that level, there's less competition for some of these kids on a daily training regime. And I think we need to bring that back. We've took competition out at the youth level for the right reasons, because people were too focused on winning at all costs. But then we got to bring that back in a hurry, right? And we haven't done that yet, right?
It's interesting you say that, because the resources and the competition, what's changing across the world, and the reason Canada is no longer the top of the league in terms of women football is because other countries are investing into football. For example, the US has made their national women's team paid like the men's side. In Europe, all the big clubs have a women's team, and within countries like Portugal, Spain, Italy, they have women's professional leagues that are running, and these players are training every day in a professional environment. So for example, Kadisha, who's in France, she's training professionally every day at a really top club. So she's going to be, a very good player, but the rest of the players, I don't think are getting the same type of attention. And it comes back to what you said, resources and having the right people there and so on and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think competition is important. At the right time, it's important, so.
Absolutely. Peyvand, I just wanted to, first of all, thank you for your time. I know I took a lot of your morning this morning. You're busy with work and family and all the kids, and the boys are getting older. So I know it took a lot of time out of you. I just wanted to thank you, not just for myself, on behalf of tons of players, hundreds, perhaps thousands of players that you've coached, and coaches that you've inspired to be better people, better athletes, better human beings. For me, always the football I always remember, but it's the human things, the values, so.
I appreciate it, buddy. I love you, man. I appreciate that. I hope that I've been able to contribute, a little bit to the game. And, I'm now coaching my boys for the first time. I've never done that before. I'm coaching my boys. I enjoy it. And I'm enjoying that. Hoping to be able to contribute through this platform to help kids, get noticed and don't get missed, because they're getting the right information out. So we could discover more Kylie Borderlos and, kids that are noticed potentially regularly. Yeah, and hopefully have another opportunity, down the road somewhere to be back on the side of the field again and contributing to what we call inside the white lines, right?
Exactly.
Not necessarily outside, but inside the white lines. So yeah,
That
I
was
appreciate that.
that was my final question there. Where do you see yourself in a little bit, going back to coaching again?
Yeah, I'm always going to coach. Like I'm coaching at the community level now, and I'm going to be assisting, my good friend Barry at with Laurier with the women's team, and I'm always coaching. I'm always coaching. Would I? I honestly don't know yet. I don't know where it would go. I'm loving this period with my kids because I've never coached my kids,
Exactly.
and I'm enjoying that time with them already, and I'm excited about coaching with Barry again. He was he's one of the first guys that drafted me in Canadian soccer, and I played for him even a year at Laurier when I was the 1 year back in school, and so I'm looking forward to helping him out there as well, and being around the game as usual. I'm always going to be around the game, right?
Exactly.
I'm always going to be around the game. Um, what comes next in terms of outside of a university environment, I don't know what future has to bring, but when the right time comes, I'll jump on to wherever I could contribute, a little bit of my experience and share my experience with players and other coaches. So, I love the game. I'm passionate about the game. You know that. I absolutely adore the game. I love the game, and I'll never be away from it. Always there somewhere on the sidelines helping out. There's always somebody who wants to learn something, and
Exactly.
you know, so we'll be around the game.
It was a real pleasure, Peyvand, to speak with you and to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time, so
I
top.
know. Pleasure was mine. Great to see your face and share some jokes before you started recording. And I don't know anybody who laughs from as well as you do from the bottom of the heart. When you hear a good joke, man. When I hear a joke, I want to call you the first to share it with you. If it's a good one, I know you'll laugh from the bottom of your heart, and it makes me happy. I wish you all the success in whatever you're doing. This new sort of path that you're taking, and I hope to see you on top and keep learning and keep being open to ideas and environments, and let's see, hopefully we'll make another trip to Barcelona and come and see you there
Exactly. I would hope so. Hope to see
for
you soon,
sure.
Peyvand. Thank you so
Take
much.
care, buddy. Thanks again.
All the best. Peyvand, I'm just gonna